Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your Stockminer, Brian Johnson. We had pretty much just a grind all the way down. We started the day up, little bit of a gap up to begin, hit some overhead resistance levels, and then slid all day long. Very end of the day, looked like we were going to get a pop, maybe try to put in, some sort of maybe a hammer candle on the daily. But no go. Once we hit that overhead resistance, the bears came in again, sucked this thing right back down again. Remember those moves up, guys, where we saw every time the market moved down, there were buyers, and the buyers would meet it with heavy buying. This is just what happens in the markets. Now that we're in this big downtrend, every time we jump, every time we move up, it's met with heavy selling. And boy, you can sure see it when they come in. It was relentless the last 15 minutes to half an hour of the day. Just relentless from the sellers as we hit this overhead resistance level. Notice what we did do today. On the Dow, we closed below 10,000. How interesting is that? So we're going to do what? We're going to give the bulls a day to get it back up and over there. At the end of the day, I have no indication on which way we're going to go tomorrow once the news has been released. It's anybody's guess what we're going to see coming into tomorrow. So what I will do is just simply tell you this. We're going to wait and watch and wait for some levels to be broke, and when those happen, that's when we're going to take our trades. And I have to remain neutral to bearish because there's nothing down here telling me to get bullish in the markets. Some of you out there are trying to call a bottom. Stop. You need to quit. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to destroy your account. You're going to blow it up. Just stop. When the market's ready to go up, it'll let us know, and believe me, you'll know then. Then it'll be time to start looking to get long, and then it'll be time to start investing in some of those stocks that you think are a real bargain right now. But right now, as of right now, this second, this is not the time. So tomorrow, let's watch this 10-100 level. I think that's a good place for a speculative long, but this overhead blue line is Papa Smurf here. This is the one we want to keep our eye on as we push upwards. This has been strong resistance on the way down. This is obviously the one to watch at this point. On the way down, below 99.50 now. I like that tomorrow. I don't know if we'll get a gap down or whatever tomorrow. Based on the news today, it really wasn't that big of a deal to the markets. So, like I said, anybody's guess, and where we stopped today was no indication. From a daily, you can see here where once again we were down. See this big hammer candle? We had a lot of bullish candles, well, potential bullish candles yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, I wasn't sold on them. They didn't work out today. Got to be careful of those. They're only potential reversal candles. Don't get sucked into that. So now we're on our way down again. I like it below the 99.50 level. I still can't help but think that these levels down here are within our reach. We've broken the 10,000 level and we've closed below it now. We hacked it yesterday and we closed below it today. I'm going to give the bulls a chance tomorrow to pull this thing back up, maybe save some face down here. But as for right now, maybe it's not tomorrow, and maybe it isn't until next week, but I think this lower level is very possible. NDX on the 60 minutes, doing what everything else was doing. Moved up, moved back down. Overall, for the day, it was the NASDAQ that was the weakest of the markets. So, the NASDAQ leading us down, that is not good for the markets when the NASDAQ is the leading one. Here was a huge bullish engulfing yesterday, met by a huge dark cloud cover. That's why they're just potential reversal candles, guys. Got to know how to read this within the context for which it is. Wasn't sold on this big move. Held right where? Oh, I don't know, 1800. 1800.62 was the high today. How pretty is that? 1800 I said would be strong overhead resistance. Sure enough, that's what we got. From a weekly perspective, too, we are now below this. We got a day left. Boy, I'll tell you what, if the bulls are going to move in here, they better do it tomorrow. We're going to get a close down in this area. If we continue downwards, I'll watch the 1740 area to see if that actually ends up holding by the end of tomorrow. So my levels to watch are 1800 and 1740 going into the end of the week on the NDX. SPX on a 60-minute, saw the move up, saw the move down, and nowhere. Look where we went, right into overhead resistance. Very pretty. Bounced down. Started that rally at the end of the day, hit this 20 period moving average, and that was it. sellers took over and they drove it straight down again. So no indication of where we're going. Is this potentially going to move up from here? You bet. You bet that could happen. Once again, I'm watching Papa Smurf up here. This is the big one for the bulls. Okay, above this area here, above 1060, 1061, not a bad place to look for a little speculative long, being careful of the 50 period. But big blue, this is the one we really want to keep our eye on going forward. Here it was, a potential reversal candle yesterday, met by another potential reversal candle today. Well, it's just consolidation right now. We are getting some pretty good moves, giving us opportunities to play this during the day, but overall, it's just kind of consolidating here, waiting for the next move. From a weekly, you can see us down to the blue line, touching this other green line. This is the one that bulls are absolutely going to want to hold tomorrow. So anything back below about 1040, not good for the bulls from a weekly perspective. 1070 is my overhead area. That's the one I'm really watching. 1065-ish to 1070 if we do make a move to the upside. VIX still hanging tough. Looks like you can make whatever you want to make it. You can make it in your own TA terms, but it does look like it's just slowly grinding its way upwards here. We really need to push up over 28 to start getting us more, how would you say, into the red zone, more fearful in the markets. That obviously lends itself to a move down in the markets itself. Confirmation today, though. VIX was up, market was down. That makes sense. From a weekly as well, still stuck within this whole mess of things, but up for the week, confirming what we're seeing in the markets. Apple on a 60-minute, also seeing what might have been a little spring here, and then we pulled right back. So stopping down here right around this 240 area. We know how important this is. As you can see here on the daily, we can make that into a dark cloud cover as well, whatever. Fact is, breaking these levels, watching 231, those are the big levels to watch. Below 231, guys, could be bombs away for Apple. Apple on a weekly here, there's that 240-ish area. That's the one the bulls are going to want to absolutely try to hold going into tomorrow for the weekly. Give themselves one more week to save face up here. FAS on a 60-minute was down 41 cents today. You can see the moves up, the moves down. A little bit difficult to play. If you're good at intraday trading, you can absolutely do this. Once again, leaving us no indication of tomorrow. I have to remain neutral to bearish on this stock and a push up. Watching Papa Smurf up here. From a daily perspective, you can see us grinding our way down as well. We get back below 17. There's your entry to start short again on FAS. Long, I don't know, above 19, I think is probably the safest place to be looking for a long. FAZ kind of wandering around here too in a consolidation. It is holding the 20 very nicely. But above this $18-ish mark, really below 16, I'm going to put some wide moves on this thing. I just don't know where we're going. Depending on how quickly we move below 1650 maybe for a short, but I really like 16 instead. So if we just look at it daily, I'm going to say below 16 for your short and above, let's call it 1825 for your long. I really think that's where we need to be with these particular ETFs right now as fast as they are moving. Okay, yesterday I sent you or showed you an email of what I sent my subscribers. I got some good feedback from that. I had somebody else ask me if I could show them that again today if I sent one, and I did send one. So for those of you interested, this is what I sent out to my subscribers today, and we can dissect it a little bit. And what I put in it was basically this. We didn't get a huge move on the initial claims. I spoke about it being close to a top, which I did at the end of yesterday. Still believe we're close. If you want to play the market long, you're more than welcome, but be nimble about taking profits. Make sure you move stops. My overhead resistance areas for this morning are 1063 and 1071, of course on SPX. But to be honest, we could see a pullback, if a reversal anywhere in between those numbers if we got in between them. Pay special attention to the blue overhead lines. We could potentially wander our way up to the 50 MA, which also coincides with the blue line, which you guys have seen already. The action for the morning is very slow. Then I updated it and gave them lower levels to watch too. Lower areas are 1051.50, then 1044, then 1039. 1051.50 could be especially tough to get through today. Now, let's look at this. Okay, so here's a 2-day 5-minute chart. This is where we hit today at the top. I said 1063 for overhead resistance. We hit 1061.45, off by a $1.50-ish. and we moved back down. I said, watch for the 1050, 150 area. That should be tough to get through. We stopped and bounced on 1050, 250 once, twice, three times a lady. Then we broke it, came back up to retest it at the end of the day. So I was off by maybe a point there. So you can see the value. Not only value in the newsletter itself at $15 a whopping month, which is a steal in and by itself. You won't find a better deal than that anywhere on the web, period. Period. Not for trading material, period. But also for the mentoring. Once again, this was pretty clear to me right from the beginning of the day. 1063 overhead, 1051.50. I had this already in sight. And then what was my target below that? I think it was 1043-ish or something like that. What did I say below? 1044. And look what we hit down here, 1045.40. I was off by about $1.50 all day long, up and down. Guys, the mentoring is so worth it. It's well worth your time. It's well worth your money. Please consider it. And see you tomorrow.